Welcome back to AZ Languages. Have you ever noticed how some people absolutely love the beach? They count down the days until summer arrives. They can't wait to feel the sand under their feet, hear the waves, and spend the whole day by the water. But not everyone feels that way. Hi, everyone. I'm Bella, and today we're going to talk about a topic that many people enjoy discussing: the beach. For some people, the beach is the perfect place to relax. For others, it's a fun place to spend time with friends and family. And for some people, surprisingly, it's not their favorite destination at all. That's actually what makes this topic interesting. Even though beaches are popular all around the world, people enjoy them in very different ways. So today, I'll share some thoughts about beaches, some of the activities people like to do there, and a few personal opinions about why I sometimes prefer other outdoor places. As always, this episode is designed to help you improve your English listening skills, build your vocabulary naturally, and practice understanding spoken English. So get comfortable, relax, and let's get started. Are your ears ready? You know what time it is. It's listening time. When most people think about a perfect vacation, the beach often comes to mind. They imagine blue water, warm sunshine, soft sand, and a peaceful atmosphere. It's easy to understand why beaches are so popular. There's something relaxing about hearing waves crash against the shore. Many people say that the sound of the ocean helps them feel calm and forget about stress for a while. Personally, I enjoy visiting the beach from time to time, but I wouldn't call myself a huge beach lover. I know, that's probably an unpopular opinion because so many people seem to love spending entire days there. For me, the beach is nice, but it's not usually the first place I think about when I have free time. We'll talk more about that later. First, let's look at some of the activities that make beaches so enjoyable for many people. One thing I really like about the beach is the variety of sports you can play. The sand creates a completely different experience compared to playing on grass or a normal sports field. Beach volleyball is probably my favorite beach sport. Even people who don't usually play volleyball often enjoy it when they're at the beach. The game feels more relaxed, but at the same time, running through the sand can be surprisingly challenging. Every step requires more effort. You can't move as quickly as you can on a hard surface. That means you're getting a good workout without realizing it. One of the most exciting parts of beach volleyball is jumping and diving for the ball. Since the sand is soft, players often feel more comfortable making dramatic movements that they might avoid on a harder court. There's something fun about diving into the sand to save a point. It makes the game feel energetic and exciting. Another advantage of beach volleyball is that it's a very social activity. Friends can spend hours playing together while enjoying the ocean view and fresh air. It's a great combination of exercise and entertainment. Of course, volleyball isn't the only sport people play at the beach. Soccer is also popular. Many groups bring a ball and organize small games on the sand. Beach soccer requires a lot of stamina because running through sand is much harder than running on grass. After just a few minutes, many people start breathing heavily. Football is another common beach activity in some countries. Families and friends often throw a football back and forth while enjoying the outdoors. Although these sports can be fun at the beach, I have to admit that I usually prefer playing them on grass. Grass fields are flatter and make it easier to move quickly. The playing area is often larger as well. So while beach sports are enjoyable, I still think traditional fields have some advantages. Another activity that many people enjoy at the beach is simply relaxing in the sun. Some people can spend hours lying on a towel, reading a book, listening to music, or just enjoying the warm weather. This activity is known as sunbathing. Sunbathing is extremely popular in many parts of the world. However, it has never been one of my favorite activities. The main reason is simple. My skin burns very easily. If I spend too much time under strong sunlight without protection, I can end up with a painful sunburn. Some people seem lucky. They spend time in the sun and develop a nice tan. Their skin becomes slightly darker and they look like they just returned from a tropical vacation. Unfortunately, not everyone has that experience. Some of us turn bright red instead. Definitely, I belong to that second group. I remember one summer when I went on a long bike ride during a cloudy afternoon. Since there weren't many clouds blocking the sun completely, the sunlight was still strong. The problem was I didn't think about sunscreen. I assumed the weather was cool enough that I wouldn't need it. That was a mistake. A few hours later, my arms were bright red. For days afterward, my skin felt uncomfortable. Eventually, it even started peeling. After that experience, I became much more careful whenever I spend time outdoors. That's one reason why spending an entire day on the beach isn't always appealing to me. Now let's move from the sand to the water. The ocean offers many exciting activities for people who enjoy adventure. When I was younger, one of the activities I tried was boogie boarding. If you've never heard of it before, boogie boarding involves using a small board while lying on your stomach. You wait for a wave to arrive, and then the wave carries you toward the shore. It's simple, but it's surprisingly fun. You don't need as much training as surfing, which makes it easier for beginners. The feeling of riding a wave toward the beach can be exciting. Every wave is slightly different, so each ride feels unique. Speaking of surfing, that's another activity that fascinates many people. Surfing has become famous around the world. Movies, documentaries, and social media often show surfers riding beautiful waves in amazing locations. I've always thought surfing looked impressive. It requires balance, timing, patience, and practice. Some people spend years improving their skills. The more I hear surfers talk about their experiences, the more interesting the sport sounds. Many surfers describe it as more than just a hobby. They talk about the connection they feel with nature. They enjoy reading the waves, understanding the ocean, and constantly challenging themselves. Maybe one day I'll give surfing a serious try. But honestly, I suspect I would spend more time falling into the water than standing on the board. Still, that's part of learning something new. Beyond surfing and boogie boarding, there are many other water sports that people enjoy. One of the most exciting is kite surfing. This sport combines a surfboard with a large kite that catches the wind. The rider can move quickly across the water and sometimes even jump into the air. It looks incredible, although it also looks difficult. Windsurfing is another activity that combines elements of sailing and surfing. Participants stand on a board while controlling a sail attached to it. Strong winds help move the board across the water. Then there are activities involving boats. Jet skiing is popular among people who enjoy speed and excitement. Sailing is another option that attracts many outdoor enthusiasts. I have tried sailing before, although my experience was on a bay rather than the open ocean. Sailing is interesting because it combines technical knowledge with outdoor adventure. Learning how to control a sailboat requires patience and practice. Many experienced sailors spend years developing their skills. Although I think sailing is fascinating, it isn't something I've pursued seriously. It requires a level of commitment that I haven't been ready to make. Now, earlier I mentioned that I'm not the biggest beach enthusiast. Let me explain why. The first reason is the sun. As we already discussed, I burn easily. That alone makes long beach days less enjoyable for me. The second reason is that there are other natural environments that I personally enjoy more. If I have a free weekend and I can choose where to go, I often prefer mountains, forests, countryside landscapes, or even deserts. There's something about those places that feels especially peaceful to me. Mountain views are breathtaking. Forests feel calm and refreshing. The countryside offers beautiful scenery and open spaces. Even deserts have a unique beauty that many people don't fully appreciate. Each of these places gives me a sense of adventure and exploration. So it's not that I dislike the beach, far from it. I understand why millions of people love spending time there. I enjoy visiting occasionally as well. I simply find myself drawn more strongly to other types of natural environments. One thing I do appreciate is that I've lived relatively close to beaches for much of my life. That has given me opportunities to visit whenever I want. Not everyone has that experience. Some people travel hundreds or even thousands of kilometers just to spend a few days by the ocean. When you think about it that way, having easy access to a beach is definitely something to appreciate. And that's one of the great things about travel and nature. Different people connect with different places. Some people feel happiest near the ocean. Others feel happiest in the mountains. Some love forests, lakes, deserts, or rolling countryside. There isn't a right or wrong answer. The important thing is finding the places that make you feel relaxed, happy, and connected to the world around you. All right, that's all for today's listening practice. I hope you enjoyed this conversation about beaches and outdoor activities. Thank you for spending this time with me. Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep improving your English one day at a time. This is Bella from AZ Languages, and I'll see you in the next episode.